Layered music.
Alright, my friends, this is what we're looking at. It's so risen. It is so risen. Let us unveil the magicalness. What we're going to do at this stage is we're going to knock this baby down, and then we're going to make some nice little dumpling ball shapes, and then lay them out on this tray nice and good, nice and dusted, so that they can rise again, and then that's when we're going to cook them, because we want the ultimate aeration. I don't know, I'm tempted to taste this. You know what's crazy? I didn't taste my dough before to check if the salt and sugar ratio was where I wanted it to be. Why I'm telling you this is because you can fix that. Once the dough, well, before the dough rises, of course, you can fix that. You can lightly salt the dough during the kneading process or sugar it, whatever it is that it needs. But let's taste it. It's perfect, it's perfect bread flavor. Let's knock it down. Oh my God. I feel like just, sorry, I'm all over the place. This is like so exciting for me. All right, let's flour this a little bit. Let's also flour our hands. Come here, you little doughy. So it's a little stuck to the edges. I guess my flouring of the edges didn't really work out the way that I hoped. So here we are. Dough unstuck from the edges. So let's get lots of nice flour on there. We don't want a situation where they stick. Bam! So soft. What I'm gonna do is make some balls. So I like to kind of stretch it out nice and long. So I'm going to get a nice sharp knife, and we are going to cut some pieces here. So get a knife and just kind of measure how you want things to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. More is more. So let's cut those little ballies. I'm having the time of my life, can you tell? Okay. Right, we've got our little ballies on here. Ooh, they're a little sticky. We're gonna need a little bit more flour. Now, we are going to roll these into some balls. Not really complicated. It's according to how you work your hands. I basically just like to roll them inward like this. Just kind of push them in. Sometimes I like to make a little cuppy shape with my hand and then just kind of push them through it. I do need to flour my hands though, this is a true fact. All right, and then just push them through, and that's a little ball. See, look at its little butt. We're poking its butt. Okay, and then we're gonna place that on this tray nicely spaced out. Because then we're gonna cover them again, let them rise again. So let's keep folding. When I feel like the bottom part isn't as closed as I'd like, I just kind of rotate it in my hand and give it a pinching motion with my thumb, like so. Rotate, pinch, rotate, pinch, rotate, pinch. See, nicely sealed and ready to go. So you see guys, there's no real way to mess up bread. Once you have all the ingredients that you need, and very simple ingredients at that, you just kind of put them all together and make sure nothing is too sticky or too watery or too floury, and there you have it. So we have done 6 cute little balls. I am going to allow these babies to rise again. I'm going to cover them up maybe for about 15 minutes. Yeah, the yeast has been doing some work. If you look closely, they're already just kind of rising up a little bit, even though they haven't been covered and are on direct cold counter. So this is good. We're gonna let that rest, and then I'm gonna do the rest, and then we're gonna get to cooking them. All right, my friends. This is the part. This is the part that makes everybody nervous, including myself, because this is where we're gonna put our little bunny buns into that really hot water. So what you want to do always is to keep the water at a rolling boil. So what I did is I put in what would be about a centimeter of water, right? at the bottom of this pot. Like if you stuck a ruler in, you'd see that, okay, it's about a centimeter. And then what's gonna happen is we're gonna wait for it to come to a really strong boil and then just kind of place our little dumplings in. And we're gonna have to keep refilling the water. So it's all about how you place your dumplings and how you sort of put little pockets and areas and little spaces where you can sort of pour the water there as carefully as possible so that it doesn't touch the bread, okay? You got this. We got this. We can do this. Let's check the levels. Nice. I think I might need just a touch more water. Okay, cool. Okay, let's cover that back and allow this water to boil. Okay, that's boiling. So let's get our dumplings in. Let us place the little guys in. I like to go all around in such a way that we achieve space. Then we're gonna close this up really nice and tight. And then we're gonna allow the steam to rise back up. And what's going to happen, so you see there was a little bit of excess flour. It's kind of the same concept as when you're boiling spaghetti and the pot over boils. That foam is what is going to cover up the dumplings and allow them to develop a great skin. And then what's gonna happen is after about 2 minutes of that, then we're gonna stack on another layer of dumplings. And that's pretty much how it happens. That's how we make sure they don't stick together and become one big flat cake and that water doesn't get into them. But it's also about checking your water levels as well. You don't want your water to run out and the base of your pot to brown and blacken, right? Keep listening to your pot. This isn't a situation where you can leave it and go and lounge around. You kind of gotta stick around, keep listening. Where's the water level at? If the water's running low, it'll just sound dry. It'll just sound like shh. Then there'll be a little bit of crackling. All right, let's give it a little look-see. You see what I'm talking about? All that foam, that's the business. All right, I think we are in the clear to set up another layer. Quickly, just kind of put it in the places where there's a little bit of space. And then cover. Let's get the last layer in. And let's cover these babies up. By the way, guys, your dumplings are meant to cook for 20 minutes from the time all of them have been placed in the pot, okay? So now let's listen. Do you hear that crackle-ack? The steam is still coming, but there's some crackle-ack, which means it's time to get a little bit more water in before the base of this pot blackens. So, do not be deceived by the little bubbles you see. Just add in your little bit of water and keep it moving. So that means one side is dry. It's all about identifying what side that is and dripping just a tiny bit of water in there, in such a way that you're not really directly pouring it on or over the bread, but just getting it in there. All right, my friends, so I'm at the stage where my 20 minutes is up and I'm going to allow my dumplings to dry out completely. That crackling noise is going to continue until I don't see bubbles. So let's have a look. All right, there's only a little bit of bubbles on the side. So I think at this moment we can steal a chance to check if our dumplings are fine, right? So let's give them a little poke. Oh, okay. Yay, oh my gosh. Yes, dumplings. Okay, I checked all of them and they are perfect. They've all become bread, praise the Lord, and not chewing gum. I am so happy these turned out okay, you guys. This is always such a nerve-wracking experience, to be honest, because the traditional way of doing stuff Literally takes the masters of the dark arts to do this, okay? The rest of us, mere mortals, struggle. Mine came out really flat though. I wonder how you people who make round balls that actually come out round, how do you do it? Please teach me. But in any case, I'm not very particular about shapes, but obviously if I was cooking for somebody special, I would try my best to put a little bit more effort into styling it up really cutely. Another note that you need to remember is when you need to add a little bit of hot water to your dumplings, make sure it is freshly boiled, because that is what will take it from hot to steamy as quickly as possible. You don't want to give the water a chance to sit there and linger, because when it does that, that's when the chances of it getting inside of your bread are high. You don't want that. You know, next time I'm really just gonna make a small batch so that they can come out all cute and like proper, because now the ones on the top are peeling off the skin of the ones on the bottom. That's another note. Get a big enough pot, make a small enough portion, and probably just do one layer and then take those out for 20 minutes. Like do one layer for 20 minutes, take those out and do your second batch so you can keep that beautiful, nice little skin. This is not the prettiest tower of dumplings, but we have achieved what we needed to achieve today. My personal notes from today, I'm gonna use a super big pot. I'm gonna space these babies out properly so they can get the attention that they deserve, and maybe not stack so many up together. See, these things happen, you guys. Perfection, told you, in the kitchen, anything can happen, but you gotta make do. But let's give it a taste. Let's see if the bread actually turned out okay. I am so happy with that. I'm really happy with how balanced the salt and sugar is. It's literally at equilibrium. I didn't even think that could be possible, so I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the softness. I'm happy with what the yeast has done. It's definitely poofed this baby up in the way that I like it. It's so soft and pillowy. I mean, Thank you so much for joining me today. I told you this one is a real technical one. Traditional food is not exactly the easiest to make, but forward we go, and the more practice we get, we'll always come out on top. Please let me know how you make your dumplings traditionally, because in Botswana, this is pretty much how we do it, and we call it Madombi. Also, what else do you call steamed bread in your language? Hit me up in the comments, hit me up in my Instagram DM, join the Facebook family, let's have a chit chat, and let's enjoy.